I've been doing things a little bit differently, and I'm sure you've noticed this by now. I've been a little bit more scripted to keep myself on task, but that won't be every video. I can promise you that. That won't be every video. And some videos I need to spark the freaking hell off, and this is gonna be one of them. I'm so aggravated. I'm so irritated because this is something Caitlin Clark talked about literally last freaking weekend. Last weekend, she gets interviewed by Malika Andrews. She lets Malika Andrews know she can't even walk out the locker room without hearing some other new contrived, new media pushed narrative that impacts her directly. She can't, she's exhausted. She can't think anymore. She has to deal with this bogus nonsense that these media members around the country continue to push, whether it's the ass clowns on ESPN, other contemporaries and colleagues of Malika Andrews, individual journalists who are national media for the WNBA, pathetic podcasters, not me, of course, pathetic people, not me, of course, but good grief. This girl cannot go one game without having a piece of shit for a journalist try to trigger her and get her to say some messed up stuff. Not really messed up, because if Caitlin tells the truth, it's the truth. But in their eyes, it is bigoted, it is racist, it is transphobic, it's xenophobic, it's misogynist, it's sexist. It will be something every single time. Let's keep it real. Folks, it's annoying and it is exhausting. And we're going to talk about this reporter. And I would pray and hope that every Caitlin Clark fan let this woman know the type of piece of human garbage that she truly is. You don't have to threaten her. You don't have to insult her, but let her know that she's human garbage. Because this is what people who are human garbage do to people. Caitlin Clark has done nothing to this woman. But yet you want to ask her a question that you know, if she answers in truth, will get her crucified by at least half the league. Because the league and its players have taken on a stance that transgendered girls should compete against girls in sports. And we all know with half a brain cell that that is ridiculous. The left-wing liberal movement, heck, this is not the left. This is the far left-wing liberal movement, because I know plenty of liberals that don't roll like this, don't think like this, and think the idea of having their daughter compete in sports against a boy after the age of like 11 is absolutely insane. But let's jump in. Welcome back, everybody, to Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Roberta Rodrigues. Showmont. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, hype the video. I want to hear your comments in the comments section. If you think I'm a piece of crap, let me know I'm a piece of crap. If you think this reporter's a piece of crap, let me know this reporter's a piece of crap. And if you have an opinion on this topic, absolutely let me know what it is. Because this is one where I am not on a script. I didn't write anything down. I saw this while doing another video that I've dropped already, and I thought to myself, man, this woman's a piece of shit. This woman's a certifiable piece of shit. And it absolutely disgusts me. A league that claims no space for hate. Was that last year's motto? I mean, was that last year's thing? Because I don't know, they're not following it all that much here when you got a Seattle Storm co-owner with that garbage that she had to say. Really? Seattle Storm owner. Yeah, she has no problem with the BS. Meet Roberta Rodrigues. Rodrigues with an S. Roberta Rodrigues is a Brazilian American women's basketball reporter. She's the founder at Beta underscore basket, writer at Forbes, God Almighty, God help us, co-host at Black Rosie Media. Opinions are my own, more below. Yeah, you got plenty of them. This woman introduces herself on her X page as lots of new people following me. Yeah, because you say bullshit. So, hi, I'm an independent women's basketball journalist, proudly Brazilian, who has been covering the league for about 15 years. Currently, you can find my work on Forbes, at Black Rosie Media, and Beta Basket. I took the offseason to rest for personal reasons and will slow down on writing this season for the same reasons, but I will be very active on multimedia platforms. You can also find me on local TV in Seattle as a guest in shows. You can go see her on Instagram. I'm sorry, on X at Roberta WBB. I am sure if you comment on her stuff, she will probably ban you. Roberta still happened to find a way to be at the Seattle Storm Indiana Fever game though on Sunday, on what, Monday? Yeah, she found a way to be there because she was there for one reason and one reason only, to try to inflame a situation in the WNBA. That is her goal. I don't know if this woman is a transgendered woman or if she is a gay woman, lesbian woman. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. That is her picture on the screen. The anti-trans organizations understand how the terminology is used. Anti-trans organizations. This is what she posted. Anti-trans organizations. Think about that for a second, people. Think about it for 1 second. Anti-trans organizations. Tell me, how does that sound to you? I know what it says, but it is as inflaming a statement as can be. Because these people are not anti trans. They're anti trans girls, women playing against scientifically born, biologically born girls and women. That is what they are anti against. They're not anti against a person being trans. They're anti trans girls playing against biological girls in sports. That doesn't make you anti trans. It makes you protectful of your child, of your daughter, of your sister, heck, of your mother. So she posts, anti-trans promoted organizations promoted a rally right outside of the arena inspired by Sophie Cunningham's comments regarding trans women in sports. Do you believe that trans women belong in women's sports? And here she says that would be my direct question to Caitlin Clark, but she was not made available. I'm making the question public. This is a screenshot from my notes, and she's welcome to answer it if she wants to. And thankfully, the Indiana Fever PR finally defended their player for a second, protected their player for a second, and did not subject Caitlin Clark or Sophie Cunningham to this interview. Caitlin Clark did not appear in the press conference. No, she did not. We were all wondering why. Well, we found out. If you didn't know by now, this is why they didn't have her at the press conference. Because they were not going to subject her to, what's the word I'm looking for? This is why I need a script right now. An ambush. They were not going to have her ambushed by a reporter like this. A reporter who says she's taking time off, but yet somehow finds the way to get to this game to ask questions about trans in sports. If Caitlin Clark told the truth, she would be labeled everything that I discussed. Transphobic, xenophobic, blah blah phobic, who knows whatever phobic, sexist, misogynist, racist. Who the hell knows? They would call her they would call her everything. Half the league would hate her. They already do. Who cares? Who cares at this point? Or Caitlin Clark would say something different and then probably turn off a large portion of her own fan base. So she'd be stuck in a pickle because she's not as direct as Sophie Cunningham. She is not as in your face as Sophie Cunningham is when it comes to this stuff. She is not someone who just doesn't give a fuck like Sophie Cunningham. And they still didn't make Cunningham available either. But this woman, Roberta, I mean, bruh. Gosh. Bruh. She says Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham were not made available for non-basketball questions post-game. Clark was listed as one of the fever players for the post-game press conference, but was replaced by Kelsey Mitchell despite being the highest scorer and assist leader on the team. This is literally what Caitlin Clark talked about less than a week ago. It's she's not allowed to keep it basketball. These people do not allow her to keep it basketball. They don't want it to be about basketball. They lie all day. They lie all day. They say they want this to be about basketball. But people like this, people that we see on television, they don't want it to be about basketball. They want to have this drama. This drama pays their bills. This drama gets them clicks. Hell, this drama allows us to do content. Let's be real. Because if all we talked about basketball and the WNBA, nobody would watch this. Because the product ain't good enough. So the drama does draw in viewership. Never in my wildest dreams did I think we'd be having a conversation about women supporting boys, men, to play against women in professional sports or in high school sports or in college sports. Because whether you like it or not, if you were born a guy and you are a guy, I don't care. I'll respect your wishes to be called a girl, but you'll always be a guy to me. But my opinion doesn't matter to you. The fact remains, this woman here, she also says, because we already know what Sophie Cunningham thinks very loud and clear, I wouldn't dare give her a platform to repeat what she thinks. Now she could have stood on business. See, let's pull this on the screen. See how she phrased that crap? Now she could have stood on business, but you just said that you wouldn't dare give her a platform to repeat what she thinks. See, you just contradicted yourself. You wouldn't dare give her a platform to repeat what she thinks, but at the same time, you trying to act all hard and shit and say, yo, Sophie, you soft, you coward, blah, blah, blah. You could have stood on business and addressed the media, but she was not available for non-basketball questions. I thought this is a basketball league. I didn't know this was a freaking a league about other stuff. This is a basketball league. That's what I was told. That's what I thought. I don't know. You let me know, lady. What's the deal? But you wanted to ask this of Caitlin Clark. We all know why you wanted to ask this of Caitlin Clark, man. This is her page, by the way, on X. Caitlin Clark's stance on this situation is as important her fever teammates. I asked Kelsey Mitchell and Monique Billings. Clark is the most popular player on the team. Oh, she is? I thought y'all said Kelsey Mitchell was more important. Friends with Cunningham and extremely influential. Her thoughts are more than relevant. No, they're really not. Because she's a basketball player. And you don't want the truth. Because if she gives you the truth, you're just going to blast her as a freaking bigot. And then you got this owner right here. Oh, this is the cute one. This is the cute one. This is the cute one. Mind you, on the same night where the co-owner of the team verbally attacked with hateful messaging two young girls who were paying customers at her team's game. Listen to this crap.
Coach, there was an anti-trans rally before the game, inspired by a WNBA player. As a member of the LGBTQ plus community and in your workplace, what was your reaction knowing that this was happening right outside of your door?
Yeah, I mean, Seattle and this organization and Climate Pledge, like, we always want to be an area where people feel welcome coming into this building. I think we've always done a really good job with that. So I know our organization was, working closely with Climate Pledge and with security to just make sure that, everybody feels safe and included and welcome when they walk in this door. And from what I understand, that was successful.
I guess you didn't make a couple of 16-year-old girls feel safe. Why aren't you asking the freaking co-owner about what her behavior, Miss Rodriguez? I mean, this is a woman who says that she's not working, but she's sure as shit here. I mean, give me a break, man. The fraud this woman is. Holy Lord, the fraud. Go look at this woman's page. Entertain her. She. No, trans women don't belong in women's sports. I'm so sorry. No one says they don't belong in sports. Trans women belong in sports. They do not belong in women's sports. Understand the difference. You want to create a trans women's league? Go for it. Be my guest. Create a high school division. Do you? Because apparently, according to these individuals, trans women are now a massive portion of the population. I mean, I don't know where you're from, but apparently now they are a massive portion of the population. So you tell me, folks, what are your thoughts of this? Because this woman's a piece of shit. She is the exact thing that we all talk about, a low-life scumbag. Because she's not worried about basketball. She's a basketball reporter who's more worried about being an activist. She's a basketball reporter who'd rather do program agenda and everything's agenda driven rather than actually, I don't know, report on basketball. You watched the game tonight, right? You watched the game. You watched two guards go for 60. You're more worried about asking questions about a rally outside for which she then blames Sophie Cunningham for it. There were people on both sides. Because guess what? There are still people that live in Seattle who have some brains. And there are some parents that don't want their daughters competing against boys. Respectfully, there's no problem with trans women in sports or trans in sport. But you create a separate league for trans girls. You can have a league. You can have a bunch of players, a bunch of teams. Here's the problem. You don't have enough. Because the amount of trans people in this country at that age group that we're talking about in high school is probably so damn small. In the state of Washington, I mean, would there even be 100 that actually, I don't know, play sports? 200? 1,000? Let's say there's 1,000. Let's say there's 1,000. Let's be real. This isn't some large segment of the American population. But create a division for trans. I got no problem with it. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to subject my daughter, if I lived in Seattle, my little girl, my teenage girl, from competing against boys and risking my daughter's health because the physically more strong trans girl, because she's really a boy, is competing against her. And this is the type of piece of shit you have in reporting in the WNBA. And you know the WNBA won't do a damn thing about it. No space for hate, right? When all these people do is promote hate. They only want to talk about hate. They want to make it seem like Caitlin Clark hates them or that Sophie Cunningham hates them. No, they want to compete against women. And I'm thankful that the Fever PR protected them from this crap. Because people like this are a piece of shit. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell, man. Like I said, I'm going to be doing lots of scripts that I write out. But this is a heater. Because oh my God. Like I said, I'm not saying go say anything mean to her. Just call her a piece of shit. You can go on her page. You can DM her. You're a piece of shit. She'll probably block you. She probably has all DMs blocked as it is. But that's all I got. Hit the like, subscribe, hype. I appreciate y'all. This is Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.